Those who threaten innocent life and property will be arrested, detained, and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I want the organizers of this terror to be on notice that you will face severe criminal penalties and lengthy sentences in jail. This includes Antifa and others who are leading instigators of this violence.
The president has vowed to designate Antifa via tweet as a terrorist organization. But what exactly do we know about this movement? Fox Nation host Lara Logan has had an encounter with them before, and she joins us right now. Lara, good morning to you. You know, the president had suggested that he would essentially designate them a terror group. But legal experts are saying that's kind of hard because there is no central leadership. It's more of a movement. You know, each town might have 5 people or 10 people. It's just kind of scattered, they say.
Yeah. It is scattered, and that's by design because it's a massive network that spreads, you know, all across the U.S. and across the world, actually. It's a global movement, and that's not my words, that's their words, right? And of course, legal experts, all these people want you to believe that you can't designate them. Why? Because it brings with it very significant authority. So, for example, all those people contributing bail money now to members of Antifa and other anarchist groups, if they're terrorist organizations, then they're contributing to terrorist groups, and that's illegal. So the money will dry up. Certainly sources of funding will dry up. Why do they move across state lines to go and commit crimes? Well, they do it because then they get in their cars or get on the planes and they go back to where they came from, and you can't get them. Well, you can if they're designated as terrorists. So this is a very significant designation, and it shuts down many of their authorities. And when you hear people coming at you about that, whether they know it or not, they're just contributing to the propaganda. And Steve, I can tell you the propaganda is in overdrive right now on the Antifa websites and through their network of people on different social media forums, and even in the New York Times today, quite astonishing. They're literally collecting data and dismissing all of this. What you're seeing in front of your eyes, they're saying is a conspiracy theory. I mean, they've used conspiracy theory. That's an information warfare term that's meant to shut down any conversation and to silence and to intimidate and to get us to self-censor because we don't want to be accused of being crazy right-wing conspiracy theorists. But this is actually, take a look at what they're calling propaganda now. Instead of propaganda, they're calling it propaganda. And this is all these messaging that's going out about policemen who are taking a knee. You just showed that on this show, right? That's called propaganda. You know, this is the grossest, most blatant attempt at propaganda I've ever seen. Anyone hugging and kneeling with him is a fool or is doing counterinsurgency. What do we know already from what we've seen over the last few years? Just ask intelligence people, law enforcement. They use the tactics that they accuse you of. So this is their insurgency, right? This is their propaganda. And if anyone is in any doubt about what this is really, where this is going, go to their information. I always believe in going to the source, right? Don't take my word for it. You can go to the source too. Right. Have a look at the revolutionary abolitionist movement. What do they want to do here? Liberation is by any means necessary. They're going to destroy the state, police, military, corporations, all who run what they call the American plantation. They'll live in a dignity in a world without prisons. Systems of punishment will be abolished. There'll be no law and no money to protect. So property, they say, is alive. It doesn't belong to anyone. Except they won't really be equal, right? There will be a system, because go down to number 10, militant networks will defend our revolutionary communities. Liberation begins where America dies. So that is what this is about. Liberation begins where America dies. Right now, the white people, you at Fox News, you're the oppressors, right? And this is all about justice for black people and underprivileged communities and the poor. But a few steps down, anyone who owns land is the oppressed. And a few more steps down, anyone with a successful business. And a few more steps down is, do you have a bigger, property or resources than I do? And every step along the way, we all become the oppressors. And what they want when they say abolish the police and the army and everything, thing. They want to get rid of all black policemen, black soldiers. It's not just about race. They want us to believe we're divided. They want it to be about Republican, Democrat, but it's not. And every single thing you're seeing is to incite a response, to incite white people, for example, to take up their guns and say, I'm going to defend my homes, and to incite the police to act, to incite the National Guard soldier to pull the trigger and give them exactly what they want, which is an excuse to get rid of this president, to get rid of this administration, and ultimately liberation begins where America dies. That's what they want. That's in their words. It's not a conspiracy theory. The New York Times should be ashamed of itself for printing such blatant propaganda. Go to their websites. Either you didn't do your job or you're on someone else's team, but you're not serving the Constitution of the United States, because that document is ultimately what it's all about. That's what stands between America now, today, as Americans have known it all their lives, and this world, where America has to die in order for their world to exist.
Lara Logan joining us. She knows a lot about Antifa. She's covered this for Fox Nation. Lara, thank you very much.
Thank you.